Hello, welcome to STH English. It is no ordinary event. The Iranian president landing in Pakistan and being hosted by Pakistan as if a brother had returned from a war front. The thickest red carpet that you could imagine was rolled out for the visitor. The delegation was hosted like a VVVVIP delegation. Nobody who was anybody was absent from the receptions that were held, and it was a gala of receptions. The visiting delegation, alongside the head of the delegation, the Iranian president, had the occasion to meet with the who's who of Pakistan. The topmost guys were there. The prime minister hosted him. The president hosted him. He met the field marshal. He met the air chief. The naval representation was there. He met Nawaz Sharif. He was hosted by Maryam Nawaz, and you name it. So for 2.5 days, Pakistan literally pulled all the stops for the Iranian president. The reason I call it an extraordinary visit is not because Iranian president has landed in Pakistan immediately after having weathered and suffered Israeli aggression. And they did it with great style, they did it with great aplomb. Of course, the cost was very heavy, and they looked to be really getting a heavy battering. And it was not just Israel, remember that, it was also Washington. And Washington brought down the heaviest attacks on Iran. And if it wasn't for the American intervention, Israelis would probably have been dragged into a protracted and a very expensive war. So it is not the background to this visit. It is the fact that Iranians have come to Pakistan as a reaffirmation of the new reality that has emerged in Southwest Asia. Before the visit and before the war, Iranians were what I call in a strategic twilight zone, which meant that they were not too sure at what level they want to engage with Pakistan. They were not too sure how to treat Delhi and Islamabad in terms of diplomatic and strategic weightage. They were always seen to be, from Pakistan's point of view, leaning towards Delhi, whether it was their reliance on Delhi's investment in their port, or it is their reliance on Indian investment and joint ventures in developing energy infrastructure, or it is their idea that Pakistan essentially was such a severe competitor and a strategic, not really adversary, but certainly not a friend either, that brought it very close to Delhi. So Tehran and Delhi ties represented the confusion that existed inside Iran, how to deal with Pakistan. The other issue was on our side. Because Iran was in this state of twilight thinking about Pakistan, Pakistan too had two views about Iran. Iran, the neighbor, Iran, a country that we want to do trade with, Iran, a country that we can't ignore because of 904 kilometers long border. Iran is an entity that we have to coexist with. But Iran also an entity that we have to guard against. Iran also an entity very close to Delhi. Iran is also an entity difficult to deal with. Iran is also an entity that has a very strained kind of a relationship with Afghanistan's Taliban. And at times this relationship would seem to us to be playing to our disadvantage. And also Iran, a nuclear competitor as well. So the view in Pakistan, the second view in Pakistan was that if you have nuclear Iran on one side and nuclear Delhi on the other side, and Iran and Afghanistan start to play ball with each other, and they end up supporting separatist groups or insurgents like BLA, which Pakistan thinks they were doing, then Pakistan can really not treat Iran as a genuine, long-term, durable, trusted friend. So there was this sense of frenemyship, as I can put it. Like, you have a friend, but a friend is also an enemy. War changed pretty much everything. What war did was to bring home to the Iranians this point that India, when it comes to crunch time, and there was no time crunchier than this crunch time that the Iranians faced when the nuclear facilities were being obliterated, in the words of the the American president when they were being attacked left, right, and center, when their military and religious leadership was being killed at home. So when there was a bomb that was planted within was imploding, and when there were bombs dropping from the skies, and when they were being strategically isolated, that was the crunch time, and Delhi chose to go the Israeli way. So Israelis were able to harness Delhi's goodwill and backing in order to attack Iran. Iran has come to realize that in times of need, there is a friend who would stand with them, or at least this friend will not turn the tables against them, and that is Pakistan. So there is absolute strategic clarity that has hopefully come up in Tehran after the war. The other realization on the side of Pakistan is that we can also not afford to have volatile borders with Iran, that we need to genuinely outgrow our past and somehow resolve those issues which have been bedeviling ties between the two countries. And the most important of them all is how to deal with terrorist groups such as Jaish al-Adl, or on our side BLA. So if both countries could agree on a mechanism, and I do believe that they have agreed on a very elaborate mechanism, that is why the DGISI, who is also the National Security Advisor, was also in these meetings. If they're able to create a framework by which Iranians would not support internal problems inside Pakistan, Pakistan will do its utmost to deal with the linkages of Jaish al-Adl, through which they sustain themselves. If they are able to somehow create this framework and enforce it, Pakistan will be able to secure the strategic basis to develop a long-term durable ties with Iran. Of course, trade from $2.8 billion has to go up to like $10 billion, and the Iranian president was emphatic in saying that this can be easily done, and we know it can be easily done. You can have trade of commodities, trade of areas where we do not compete with each other, whether it is high-tech goods or it is agro-based industrial goods, or it is other industrial equipment, where we complement each other and do not compete against each other. You can really enhance trade, but trade and exchange of goodwill and revitalizing, for instance, the defunct and for now paralyzed Joint Economic Coordination Group. I think the last meeting took place in year 2022. All of that will not be possible if the two countries do not agree on a strategic matrix. So the biggest news to have come out of the Iranian president's visit to Pakistan is that the two countries have finally worked out a way to coexist happily and to each other's advantage as far as this border-related issue is concerned. So if the borders are secure and the groups that operate across borders to the detriment of both countries' interests are neutralized, Pakistan and Iran have a new matrix to work with, and this matrix, this framework, this new construct in Southwest Asia will be to their long-term advantage. Of course, this was not how it was supposed to be in the Moody's alternate universe. Moody's alternate universe suggested that Pakistan will forever be locked in hostility as far as Iran is concerned. Pakistan will forever have to be watching over its shoulder as far as Afghanistan is concerned, and Pakistan will forever have to deal with internal upheavals that could be created with the help of BLA and TTP. And on top of it, we'll be able to isolate Pakistan by blaming it to be the epicenter of terror. Now, all of that had Iran as the centerpiece of this encirclement of Pakistan. This significant piece has collapsed. If it wasn't for Israel's attack of Iran, if it wasn't for Delhi's absolute and I would say shamefaced ditching of their so-called long-term friend Iran, Pakistan and Iran would still be struggling to find strategic clarity. But because of these regional events, the Iranian leadership seemed to have realized that they have to coexist with Pakistan, not as a compulsion, but within an arrangement that is going to be servicing their international interest. And the realization is also deep inside Pakistan. So you would find a lot of complementarity. Of course, Modi government will be, again, biting the self-inflicted wounds of choosing the wrong side when history beckoned, and not siding with Iran and instead siding with Israel. These are the consequences of bad decisions that Modi government took. But of course, Iran and Pakistan both are beneficiaries of it, and both in a backhanded way probably will be thanking Narendra Modi for doing what he did.